Good evening, WrestleTalkShow fans, and welcome to another edition of WrestleTalkShow. I again here am your host, Joshua Zimmerman, bringing you the world of professional wrestling's latest news, bits, rumors, ins and outs, televised programming, pay-per-views, anything you want to know wrestling, we got it. First and foremost, we want to thank our audience. We appreciate the views. We hope that you continue to be entertained by the videos. And check out this video and many more at WrestleTalkShow.webs.com. And feel free to interact with the site, as we have many things up there for you to interact with. A forum. We also have a Facebook page and a Twitter. A lot of times we put exclusive updates up on just the Facebook page, so you might want to become a fan of that to stay linked up with the website if you're a subscriber of ours. Again, we appreciate the exclusive subscribers on the YouTube network as well. Getting out of the way, our demographic, 89% of the audience is male, and 11% of the audience is female. Majority of the audience, a whopping 30% of the overall audience, comes from the 25 to 35-year-old male and female demographic. And we have just over 1,400 total video views. So again, we appreciate all the support, guys, and we couldn't be happier with the progress. Let's get right into news. Let's get right into the ratings. TNA Impact scored a 1.2 on Spike. I'll have SmackDown in tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, somewhere around there, as it just went off the air about 5 minutes ago. Moving right into the. Well, it scored a one again. Impact scored a 1.2 this Thursday, and a 1.15 the previous week. So a little bit of the ways up. Moving right into important news, breaking news. No, well, I don't know about breaking, but it's the first time yesterday that I heard about it. Undertaker has shoulder surgery to be out 4 to 6 months. May miss WrestleMania 27 or only be able to work a limited match. It's not, what would you say, catastrophic. He missed WrestleMania 10 with an injury, and the streak hasn't always been defended. He's had vacations and whatnot, and any wrestling fan that follows The Undertaker knows that his contract is exclusive, where it includes provisions to prevent things like this and for time to recover from things that do need to be worked on. So you can only imagine that if he can do something to contribute to WrestleMania, he will in any capacity. I think if they do it right, it'll work for the time that he's gone. We'll have some theories on that in a little little later. Hype for TNA's next pay-per-view, Final Resolution, begins. Just an offhand comment, I don't think anything in that pay-per-view is going to be resolved either, just like every other TNA pay-per-view. Triple H was on the Good Day program, Fox's Good Day morning show this morning. For those of you that caught it, please send in your interpretations of that interview so as we may post them and discuss them if you're interested. If not, Mick Foley recently quoted in regards, I guess it was an interview, from the looks of it, it looked like an interview where he stood on TNA now. Since he's spoken out about concussions and injuries and whatnot, he states, I shouldn't wrestle again for quite some time, but further in that says that he wants to do things for TNA more or less outside of the box, and he's coming up with ideas for that. So he obviously knows that his career, and before maybe he caught me in a little bit of both scenario. When I was telling him to get off the stage, it's only because the things he made famous were starting to look sloppy, and that's not the way he made them famous. He, in my opinion, having the old heads like Ric Flair and Mick Foley on TV. Ric Flair still has it to a point, except when he bleeds and just overdoes it. I think there are times that Ric Flair should even consider, like what Mick's doing, more or less insinuating that he wants to be part of the creative process or something behind the scenes, but definitely wants to be a part of the promotion. Uh, Mick Foley can't hurt. Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo and Hogan can't be the only voices there. Foley is an actual wrestling fan, so maybe something good can come from that. Again, this is just first look assumption, if you will, but maybe if they got him on the creative process, he could start telling TNA why some of the stuff they do isn't making sense from a wrestling fan perspective who follows story, feud, resolution, scenario, or pattern, if you will. But she's had better opportunities and not produced near as much, so I won't hold my breath. Uh, Bret Hart currently having great success with the WWE's European stint of the tour. Uh, as you all know, they just got back from the United Kingdom. WWE Ring of Honor has its Survival of the Fittest tournament tonight, so be sure to check that out if you're not already checking that out. Ring of Honor is a great independent wrestling organization, and it had a bit of a stalemate from the way it sounds, so we haven't really covered it. Not that there hasn't been coverage, but they're doing all right, and we encourage you to Google them, Ring of Honor. I'm sure I'll link you right to their website. WWE currently planning out this year's Hall of Fame, and they're working on selecting the city. The proposals have been sent to several cities that include Orlando, Florida. WWE commented that Orlando, Florida, along with the others solicited, were targeted because of their vast domestic and international tourism, which WWE hopes to gain while I guess the Hall of Fame will be over a weekend or over a week. And WWE has also asked the host city, whoever that may turn out to be, to bear some of the cost to perform/exercise the actual Hall of Fame itself, putting it together and whatnot. So we'll see what happens there. Kurt Angle once who said who knows what the future holds in regards to returning to WWE, now outright says no. Quote on his Twitter page, he's quoted as saying, "My loyalties lie with Dixie Carter and TNA. Never happier." It's rumored that Shawn Michaels is to appear during week 1 of WrestleMania 27 ticket sales. That's been hyped up for a couple days now, so I'd like to think that it can be deemed as fact, and look forward to seeing Shawn Michaels in some capacity. He's only been retired a year, so it would work. WWE releases exclusive during one of its commercial breaks on SmackDown, sort of inside the life of John Cena, kind of WWE's poor attempt at reality, reattempt at reality, but haven't we had enough real world and road rules and all those things suck, they don't rule, no pun intended, this is the truth. We have enough drama in our own lives. Why do we need to televise someone else's drama? Explain it to me, please. I do this for entertainment. You can watch me or not watch me. It's not breaking me that one person may not be watching me because they're not interested. Moving on. TNA earlier this week recently made formal its rule that it is banning chair shots after the recent concussion of Mr. Anderson. And you gotta wonder if in the long term this is gonna help lower head trauma, and nothing but good here, but is it too late? And that's always seemed to be the scenario. They get emotional after something happens, so maybe this is the first of many steps to come, where they progressively find ways to keep the product entertaining, but most importantly, the performers safe. Now, I'm not talking full body suits, but if some of this excess stuff, the blading, the blatant blading, I can see a little blood with my match, but when you're gonna blade yourself, that's something that makes me sick about Ric Flair. When you're blatantly gonna do it just to say, I'm old and I know how to do this and I can do this, and basically bleed all over the ring where the blood doesn't complement the match, then you just look like a bloody old man. There's no action, no suspense, no nothing like the blood used to mean. The blood used to mean you got the better of somebody because these guys were portrayed as brick shithouses, forces to be reckoned with. Now some of them are reduced to comedy skits and they're not deemed as wrestlers. It's wrestling with a little bit of comedy, with a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and we call it wrestling entertainment. And the entertainment's attached so we can throw other stuff onto the barrel of wrestling so the rest of this stuff can kind of go past you while you're trying to watch your wrestling. Again, I stress, the wrestling fan wants wrestling. Not comedy hour, not drama hour, some story with the feuds and whatnot, the related stuff, but this 11th hour comedy stuff is for the birds. I mean, some of it's funny, but when it's just stupid funny, then what's the point? Make a dark match, showcase another young talent that you got. You got plenty of them, and you're not going to push half of them. And what do you think of the ban on chair shots by TNA? Do you think that it's too late? Do you think that TNA is this is just more to come? You can't wait for bigger and better things. Tell us your voice. Give us your opinion at WrestleTalkShow.webs.com on our online interactive forum. And tell us what you think. Also, there are many other questions there. There's a donate button there. And you can watch all the videos right from the very first video that we launched shortly after SummerSlam. Again, I created this so you, the wrestling fan, have a voice. Send the show an email at cwecompany@gmail.com. Visit us on Facebook and Twitter at CWE Company. And until next time, this was your short news brief, and we shall see you Monday.